next slide.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Alright, so this is the investment presentation for Wolfsquadaxie. Next slide. Yeah. So first of all, getting the disclaimer out of the way, investment carries risk, so please don't invest what you're not comfortable or able to lose. Just getting that out there straight away. Next slide. So Axie Infinity is the highest cap crypto gaming coin right now. Axie shards, AXS on Binance, Crypto.com, already listed on most of the major exchanges. Crypto gaming will continue to grow exponentially through 2022 and beyond. So, Wolfsquadaxie, what makes us different? So there's a lot of different funds right now that are trying to scramble together and make a crypto gaming fund, any kind of game, any of that kind of thing. But what makes us different is, while many funds are scrambling to hire anyone willing to play, we have shifted our attention to primarily in-house operation, based here in Bali, Indonesia, as well as remote operations. So this is the Bali office where our players come in and play from right now. We still let people work remotely as well, and we also hire remotely, but like one of our main principal focuses was to actually focus on Bali, Indonesia as an office, as well as actually like hiring local talent. So we help support local community and provide in-house training to optimize our player performance instead of forcing free player numbers. So I mean, just not like just hiring heaps of people and just expecting them to learn the game themselves and all that. We did in-house training the whole time. We want to empower our players beyond Axie Infinity as well, with crypto and investment education provided through our workshops. So I already did a few of these workshops. This one obviously Axie Infinity focused, but I've also done ones on stock, crypto, other things coming up. So we also incorporate streaming and in-game performance awards to our players. We're now Twitch affiliates, and we're aiming for Twitch partner status and also YouTube monetization. So these will just be extra revenue producing platforms basically, not a core focus, but just an additional revenue provider. Next slide. So yeah, Wolfsquadaxie is an Axie focused crypto gaming investment fund based in Bali, Indonesia. We started our first Axie game at the end of last month. Around August 26th was our first Twitch stream, and we've now grown to 11 active players within 2 weeks. The current investors are me, CEO, and 2 more outside investors. We are close associates with the members of Unix, NFG, and Axie Scholar World in this space, and we share advice, and we also trade WEF and F between each other to save gas fees, which is also quite important in this one. We are open to further collaborations with players, streamers, and cross-platform partnerships with them, or other crypto gaming funds and projects. So, go back again. So these 11 active players, right now 7 in Bali and 4 in the Philippines. And with Unix, NFG, and Axie Scholar World, they're all also based in Indonesia. Unix and NFG core operations from Bali as well, we know these guys. And the thing with trading WEF and F means once you take the Ethereum into Ronin wallet, it becomes WEF. And to save a lot of money in gas, what we do is just transfer anyone who needs the WEF, they pay F to the MetaMask, so we don't have to take it in and out of our own MetaMask and Ronin wallet, essentially. So it actually saves about $70 per transaction. Like that's the cheapest even as well. Okay, so investment breakdown. So for a minimum investment of 1 Ethereum, investors will receive 4 teams of 3 Axies each, with 4 players behind these accounts. These are based on current prices. Right now, you can get 4 teams, 4 decent teams with 1 Ethereum investment. And with the current game mechanics, these 4 players can earn as much as 600 plus SLP a day among them, using rates of 8 cents right now per SLP, which if you've seen the graph, the current price is definitely down a lot in the last month and 2 months, but you can still make 150 plus SLP a day each player. So that's what I'm saying. So 600 plus SLP a day on one Ethereum investment. And 50% is the current rate for the investors. So that means that based on this price, $25 a day on a roughly $3,000 investment. I'm also taking $3,000 for the Ethereum price right now. And thus an ROI achieved in 120 days, 4 months, thereafter producing over 20% monthly return at current prices once again. So obviously all of this relies on Ethereum price, SLP price, and Axies price. So there's 3 different variables. Even with breeding, also the Axie shards price. So there are 3 main variables and like a secondary variable basically. Oh, and the entire crypto market too. Like everything really relies on Bitcoin at the end of the day. So there are no guarantees made for ROI, but we estimate that there is an 80% chance that you'll at least get ROI in 6 months. I'm being pretty conservative with this. Like we expect 4 months at current price, but we're saying not guaranteeing 80% chance of a 6-month ROI. So SLP price is the biggest variable for ROI, along with the price paid for the Axies and Ethereum price as well. But players can reliably get 150 SLP a day each. Good players can get more than this as well, under good management, unless there are fundamental game updates. So again, the team is constantly like changing the actual game mechanics. So what they realized was that AXS was getting too high, so they altered like the breeding prices, because breeding takes AXS and SLP, so there's also that. But also the game itself, there was a big change before how adventure mode went from 150 a day down to 75 max on adventure mode a day, which means that now like the basically it's all about arena mode to get the big SLP. So that's why we do in-house training, streaming, and making sure that all of the players who are actually under our fund can produce as much as they can, like do as well as they can. So 150 a day is like actually what we're averaging right now, because we have good players, some doing even more. And again, the top 1,000 also get a bonus. So the new season is starting in 4 days, and everyone who did well in season 18 is about to get paid out. The payouts are in Axie shards as well. So all of the top 1,000 are at least getting 1 Axie shard, up to the winners getting like 225 shards, I think. And then they're also paying top 51 to 100, top 26 to 50, all of that. So there's all these bonuses that range from like pretty solid amounts for the top 1,000. So next slide. Right. So the current Wolfsquadaxie numbers. If we can continue to grow exponentially from our current Discord and social media following, with the help of investor funds, we can compete with large existing funds and grow together with other crypto games if opportunities present. So these are the current numbers of our social medias. We have 5,000 in our Discord. We have 11 active Axie Infinity players, so 7 in Bali, 4 in the Philippines, who right now, as a unit, make 1,500 plus SLP a day, $120 at current prices. 40 Axies under our management, so our office account has 10, and then the other 30 are spread amongst our 10 players, 3 in each account. We actually hit 1,000 TikTok followers today. We have 700 plus Twitter, 600 plus on Instagram, and 500 plus on Twitch. The affiliate status here is important because, again, we were trying to grow this as a side revenue, and we can go for partner status on Twitch when we grow later to get the numbers. And we also have 550 plus on YouTube on my account and 300 plus on the Wolfsquadaxie YouTube account. So, okay, entry and exit agreements. Each investor is signed onto their own individual agreement, and their teams are individually assigned to them. We tweaked this a little bit. So this is the basis of the SLP percentage cut. So once someone makes an investment, their Ethereum is converted into the Axies, and then from there, the Axies are assigned to our players. And the basis of their SLP will be the percentage cut, so 50% of the SLPs earned under their Axies, which they end up owning. So they own the underlying asset, being the Axie as well. So to exit, we say 2 months minimum, like in the fund before leaving, but just give us notice if you do want to come out of the investment fund. The Axies will be valued at their current prices and cashed out, and the SLPs as well. You can also get paid your SLPs on a monthly payout if you want, whilst you're inside the fund. And then again, understanding that no promises or guarantees made regarding the ROI percentage, but only our expectations, and under our careful management, we again forecast that we can definitely deliver, not definitely, but we can highly likely deliver in under 6 months your ROI back. That's 80% chance. Okay, further opportunities. So going beyond Axie Infinity, if Axie Infinity ceases to provide high returns, we can pivot into other crypto gaming projects. Already on my radar includes Atlas, D-Race, Crypto Blades, and any other upcoming projects when the returns are possible. So there's so many games right now, like in development, that may or may not be coming this year or even next year. But right now, the opportunity with Axie is still very profitable, even with SLP as low as it is right now today. We still believe that Axie Infinity can carry a very high ROI for our investors. And we also can expand to crypto education, merchandise, and workshops, further revenue alongside Twitch and YouTube, as mentioned. Our players have a multitude of gaming experience across mobile, PC, and console gaming, and are eager to mentor each other in our active community. So all of the players I've hired out of my Discord server, so 4 right now who are active from the Philippines, they all have experience playing League of Legends, but other Legends on mobile one, console games like Call of Duty, Halo. They've been long-time gamers, not just people who just showed up to play Axie Infinity. Like, I've interviewed all these people, they have the experience playing games, so that means that there's a good chance that if we do pivot into another crypto project or game, then the likelihood that they can at least understand and be productive faster is a lot better because of this experience. And then again, our rates of return are superior as we onboard our early investors. So because this is our Series A round, the 50% SLP is a lot higher than NFG, Axie Scholar World, Unix, all these guys, because they already at 50 plus players already, so they're ahead of us. But because it's a Series A round, again, a really good deal for any investors right now. 50% SLP is a lot better than any of these other guys are doing. So yeah. FAQs. So these are the questions we get a lot, so I just answer these first, and then we'll do Q&A. So, is there a minimum investment period? Yep, so we require at least 2 months investment before funds can be withdrawn. Some other funds are doing 6 months, by the way, as well, so we're just asking for at least 2 months. What are the expected monthly returns? So ROI in 4 months, based on the current projections, and then 20% monthly return thereafter, based on current SLP and Axie prices, once again, subject to change. Do I own the Axies? So yes, unless you opt for a non-Axie ownership plan. So the basic plan that will do the SLP 50% cut is you still own the underlying Axies. So if you decide to come out of the fund, all your Axies will be sold, and that will also be returned back to you. But there is a 4.25% fee for the marketplace of Axie Infinity, so that would come out. But yeah, so you do own the Axies, and then is this a risky investment? So we disclose that there is a possibility of total loss, although very unlikely, and projection an 80% chance of at least ROI in 6 months, and standard expectation is to have an expectation. Expectation also a 2x within 1 year from now. That's based on current prices as well. So any more questions, welcome now, and you can follow all our social medias at Wolfsquadaxie and my own account, Thomas Wolf. So yeah, any questions now, welcomed. So do we have any questions from the Instagram, the YouTube, or anything? Or any in the room as well? Yeah?
I got a question. So you mentioned 1 ETH can get you a team of 4.
Yeah.
In the marketplace, there's varying costs of each Axie. Are you just choosing the cheapest ones?
No, so right now we have a build that we have allocated to all of these guys, and so all the guys who are in the room now are players. But yeah, there is quite a big range of prices among the Axies. It is possible to still win with these floor Axies, but it's a lot harder. So what we've decided to do is go for a little bit more expensive, but still 0.23F is like the price of our current team. So again, that can go up and down, but 0.23 right now. So that's why I say 1F gets you 4 teams. So 4 times 3, like 12 Axies, 4 teams.
And is that team only, so again I need to ask, is that would be the basic entry team? Is that ready for battle? Is that ready for the dual arena?
Yeah, so the whole arena mode, yeah, like the build that we have, is pretty good for still getting to the highest actual MMR level in the game. So once you hit I think it's 2300 is the highest MMR level cap now. Once you hit 2300 MMR, you start to win 21 SLP every win. So that's when the real money comes in. Every player will be getting over 200 a day once they reach the high MMR. So again, it is possible to win on the floor Axies, but it's a lot harder. And 0.23F team is still like actually a very good team for our scholars. Plus, by keeping the same team, our education will stay consistent so that if everyone has the same aqua plan, we call, so there's 2 aquas and a plan, and if we keep the same cards, the same lineup, then we can teach across all the scholars on the same build, right? So that's why we kept it like that. But if for any reason, like any particular players, like we are open to requests. We put in our Discord that you can request Axies, but we just ask that you have experience with those Axies, exactly those ones, and you can actually get to the highest MMR with those Axies, because obviously some Axies cost more. So yeah, but our basic build does the trick, and it's easier to teach across that account than like 10 different builds or different floor Axies. So that's why we keep the build consistent. Yeah. Do any of the players have any questions, or no? Or no? Any questions about?
I don't know, maybe to add something to his question, like all those players here, they're already playing, and like this guy's getting 200 plus SLP every day with the same build as everyone.
So we had our first scholar hit for 200 a day today. So our scholar over here, so awesome job for him. 200 SLP in 1 day on the build that I've been talking about. So yeah, that build only costs right now 0.23F.
Yeah. So I think it's the best, like we both think it's the best for like cost effective to what you're gonna get, because if you buy a really expensive build and you only get 5% more ROI and then you spend twice the money, it's not worth it,
If our scholars if someone can get really, really good and can still win on floor Axies, then we can basically send some more floor Axies over to them, and they can learn how to play with those ones. And then that brings the cost of that team down. So like I say, like individual assignments, so we've made 11 accounts so far, and each one belongs to a certain investor. So the team allocation, if we then have more scholars who can still win on floor Axies, the new accounts we create will have floor Axies in them and be cheaper to invest in. So the floor Axies are like 0.05 each, So that's 0.15 F for that team if you buy a complete floor. But yeah, that will come later though because
But the return is
it's a lot harder to win with those.
The return is gonna be like 80, 85 SLP, and like this guy on 0.23 makes 200 plus a day. So it's like 30% more, but like 250% more SLP. So
Is that in adventure mode or?
No,
Yeah, well, no, because in adventure mode you still get the 75 a day. But when it comes to arena mode, what I'm saying is that the floor Axies are a lot harder to win with and to move up the rankings because there's a big ladder basically. There's basically a big ladder where anyone between this MMR band and this MMR band makes X SLP. So you start at 1200, everyone starts at 1200, and if you lose, you immediately start going down. And also if you win, you immediately start going up. So from the 1200 starting point, you make 6 SLP per win. So if you come in with floor Axies, it's going to be hard, but you can still potentially win. But moving up to the very highest rung, the 2300 plus rung is the top tier, and they make 21 SLP a day. So you make 3.5 times as much money if you're in the top bracket. So yeah, it's a big ladder system where they move the emphasis over to arena mode because the new game update made it so that 150 SLP adventure mode daily cap was slashed down to 75. So that was a big game update that happened a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Month and a half ago. Yeah, I think. So they might still introduce some new game mechanics before the end of this season. So season 18 ends in 4 days, and we're trying to get everyone ready, new teams ready for season 19, which is about to start. And then, like, for example, the Unix guys, so because they have so many scholars, they managed to crack into the top 1,000, like a bunch of people actually got into the top 1,000. So if we have volume, we can also do this as well. And getting into the top 100 particularly was getting at least 15 Axie shards as a bonus, which is about $1,000 right now. So if a player gets a $1,000 bonus, we'll share that amongst the player and the investors. So yeah, that will also be 50-50. But yeah, basically just to say how the bracket system actually works, the game matches you up against people who are in the same bracket as you. So the 1200 to 1300, the 1300 to 1400, 14 to 15, yeah, all these brackets going from 6 to 9 to 12 to 15 to 21 SLP per win. So yeah, they can tweak these brackets at any time. They might do it in the next 4 days, but we'll see what happens with that. But basically, we just alter our lineup if needed, because if anyone starts using the exact same lineup, that's also a problem because how the game works, certain Axies are better against other Axies. Like if you're an Aqua, you have a 15% advantage against which one? I can't remember which one, but you have a 15% advantage against a specific different type of Axie, and you also have a 15% disadvantage against another type of Axie. So all the time people are changing their teams, you can read on Axie Metastack exactly what Axies are being used at any moment. So there are nine core different types of Axie, and again, each one has a plus and a minus. Basically, like a rock paper scissors kind of setup with that, and you can see exactly how many people are using all of these. So we can tweak the lineup if needed. But again, our build right now seems pretty solid. So we're already happy with winning a lot of the builds. So.
There's a question for you.
Yeah, question. Yeah.
Yeah. How long do you think Axie game will be driving like this?
How long do I think Axie will be
driving? You know, like really. Like,
growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see the graph before, I don't have it up right now, but an Axie Infinity player graph. So basically, if I'm just deciding for memory here, like Axie Infinity player growth or something, like yeah, it's in the Axie stack. Like the Axie stack website's really good. It has a lot of information about the game. You can find out everything in the Axie stack, basically. Is it down here somewhere? AxieStack.com?
Player counter maybe?
Axie count or Axie leaderboard or... Oh, so yeah, those guys are like the elite best in the world, like 3100 MMR level. So basically, if you could break 3000 MMR, you're basically guaranteed in the top 100, even top 50 at that kind of level. Yeah, so these are the daily numbers, or I don't know what these are here. But if I'm just going from memory here, basically the game was, okay, live player count. Yeah, okay, right, so right now, what time is it? It's like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So there's 107,000 active players right now. Okay. Yeah. So this is the monthly numbers. So so they went well over 1 million and now past 1.5 million monthly players. Yeah, this is basically, what was it, June, July? Yeah, so back at like the start of June, this is when the game got like started to get really picked up, was at the beginning of June. And then through June, yeah, during June it grew a lot. Through July it was really going parabolic in July. August it slowed down. In August it slowed down a lot, but it was still growing. Caused a lot of selling pressure on the SLP because of this. But if the game can again go through another parabolic explosive phase, then this 1.5 million monthly player count could easily go to like 5-10 million by the end of the year. So, like based on this chart here, I know it's early and may have this big parabolic run through this part of the graph, but if it hits 5 million by the end of the year, for example, then there'll be a lot more buying pressure coming back in for SLP and Axie shards as well. So again, like we can't predict exactly what SLP or AXS will do exactly, but we can still see how the game is growing. So as long as the game is still going past 1.5 million, 2 million daily users or monthly users, then like that bodes well for the entire ecosystem because more people are still coming in, the SLP is being minted, being burned. So the whole breeding process burns SLP and AXS, and then SLPs are of course what you get in the in-game currency. So the whole ecosystem functions reasonably well, like apart from the SLP going down a lot, which of course we can't control, but we try to manage as well as we can and make sure that our players are making as much as they can. So yeah.
With the increased player count, wouldn't SLP go down even further?
Well, it depends how many people are coming in and out of SLP basically. So if a lot of people are coming into the game, the Axie price will go up because the marketplace will be flooded with demand. And if that happens, then like because you still own the Axies, then when they're sold, the price you get more back for the Axie. But as for SLP, then more players coming in. It depends on the whole breeding as well, because breeding burns SLP and Axie shards, but like as you breed more, the SLP cost goes up of the breeding process. So like there's a lot of different levels to how the burn could grow or fade based on the players coming in, because more players, more breeders, more everything. But yeah, like we can't exactly predict how the whole system will move like that, but we can try to get as best idea as we can by analyzing all of that. So yeah, like SLP could potentially keep dropping down, but as long as it's at least like 5 cents, then we believe that there's still a good opportunity for investment and for making money with the game. 5 cents is really getting like low down, because I mean it's come from, I mean it hit 40 cents for highest, so yeah, it's down 80%, but there's still a long way to go from 8 cents down to 5 cents. So hopefully with the greater cryptocurrency upswing as well, I mean obviously we have that dip, but if Bitcoin is at 45k now, then with Bitcoin going back 350k, maybe 60k again, that'll just bring every cryptocurrency along with it for the ride anyway, usually. So hopefully SLP can at least get to the 10 to 15 cent range, because